Hey, what is up? Welcome to Dharma Time here on WPSN99.com. As always, I'm your host, the Dharma Guy, here with the Dope Doctor. What's up?
¿Qué pasó?
Exactly. I couldn't have said that better myself.
Voy a hablar español.
Sí, se habla español un poquito.
Por la hora entera.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome. It is a fine Tuesday here. Unless you're watching this recorded, then I don't know what day it is for you.
Muy buen día.
But I will say, though, that temperature has been fantastic the last few days. I've been happy.
Un poco frío, ¿no?
No, it's been good. Had the door open at the house a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving it. And then I think like next week it's supposed to go back up or something. So we'll see. But anyways, I digress. Welcome here. We got a pretty good topic today. Not sure if we're going to have a show next week or not. We haven't discussed it, but
¿Quién sabe?
I know.
Ni lo ha pensado.
Huh? You're tired?
No lo ha pensado. Si lo vamos a tener o no.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak Spanish the whole show.
Great. You just faulted on that one. That wasn't Spanish.
I had to let you know.
It was Spanglish. Anyways, but yeah, so we got a show coming up today that I think is going to be a pretty good one. Somewhat cliche, but you know us. We'll do something cool with it. So the title of today's show, if you've not seen any social media posts, is Attitude of Gratitude. However, before we get into that, let's go ahead and thank everybody.
Thank you.
We have, exactly, and then we're done.
Done.
All done. So we have three different treatment facilities, which we refer to both as a foundation and as a radio station, and that is Retreat Behavioral Health, Journey Pure, and Gatehouse Treatment.
Yep.
All good facilities. And we have the Orange County Drug Free Coalition, been a supporter for many, many years. Thank you very much for that. And we have the Now Matters More Foundation, of which, of course, I am the president. He is the founder. You can see more about who we are, what we do, or you can donate at nowmattersmore.org, or you can call 833-NOW-MATTERS, and we will do our best to help you get with the right people. And last but not least, we have Sports Subaru South, which that event has started.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
Share the Love event. So if you go down to Sports Subaru South and you buy a car from them and you tell them that you want the money to be donated to the Now Matters More Foundation, they will donate, I think it's up to $250, and they will match it with an additional $50. And please do. We're looking forward to that. It's a great partnership. Really cool people down there. We went and had a talk, I think it was last weekend. And they were good people. I felt very welcome. They were awesome, and I'm excited to see what they can do for us.
That's right.
And then, as
Thank
always,
you, Josh Snell, and the entire crew out there.
And as always, if you want to follow us on social media, you got at WPSN99, at the Dharma Guy, at the Dope Doctor, and of course at Now Matters More. And if you want to watch these pre-record or post-recording, you can do it at youtube.com/Dharma Time.
Yeah, as long as I do my job.
That's right. And then, of course, you can always get this on iTunes and all these other places that they're at. So now that that's all done, we got the bills paid, let's talk. So I know we typically try to do yearly, both on the Couch Live and on Dharma Time. We do like a Thanksgiving kind of gratitude show.
Yep.
And so as proud as I am of those, that's kind of part of the problem, I think, is that we do things like that only once a year, right? And so this is where my mindset was at coming up with the show. And mind you guys, for those of you who are listening, this is straight up impromptu because him and I have not even discussed anything about it. He's been busy moving, and I've been busy doing the thing. So this is us unfolding as we're talking. So what originally started this was I've known some people who have it was a collection of things, right? Watching some TV and seeing some kind of a drama play out on TV, knowing a bunch of other people who've gotten married or whatever, seeing some posts on Facebook, has led to some discussions between my wife and I, and her and I were kind of reliving our journey together as a couple. Right, you know what? It sounds cheesy.
It doesn't sound cheesy. It sounds cute.
But I like it. Cute. It was actually it was.
It's not about cheesy.
I don't know if I want to use the word therapeutic, but it was cool to really kind of like go back because when we first got married, everybody told me this, and I didn't understand it.
Right.
I couldn't comprehend.
Right.
But I get it now, having been through it. And for those of you who are married, you know what I'm about to say, and that is the first year is the hardest, right? And so for me, like the second we said I do, it's like things changed. It was the weirdest thing. Everybody kept telling me that, but I never understood it until it happened. Like the second we said I do, things kind of just changed.
Yeah.
And the first year was difficult. It was just a lot of
very
us.
Different. It's very different.
Well, it's a lot of us just learning how to be married.
Yeah.
You know, learning how to live together, learning how to compromise, learning how to do all these things. and it was difficult at times. It was hard. It was challenging, but that's why they call it building a marriage. Like, you build it. It takes work. It takes effort.
Dana didn't argue for crap that first year, so it was kind of easy for me.
There you go.
She said yes, dear, a lot back then.
That's what I do now. But anyways, so her and I were just kind of like, just reliving some of the things, and we were just like astonished that we would say and do some of those things that we said and did back in the day. We're just like, because we would never do that now. We're in such a different place now, and we worked to get here. And so, but it was kind of therapeutic though to kind of relive some of that, be grateful for where we're at. Like, we're both so thankful that we are where we are. We see other people struggling and going through some stuff, and we're thankful that, like,
Do you do that?
No, I don't do that. Because you got me terrified for the 7 years, man. Like, I'm terrified now. I was like, oh God. But no, not really.
It's so true. That's the
7 years
on
man.
the dot.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully not. But regardless, it was very therapeutic though to kind of just reminisce and be grateful for where we're at and how we view and treat one another now.
So basically, you had like a Big Brother episode or like a Survivor episode where you're just remembering.
Yeah,
like it's like hits. That. Yeah, it's like that Wasted episode that you watch. You go like, oh my God, it's that episode where all they do is reminisce.
Yeah, it was basically, and I don't know what started it or how it happened, like, specifically. I know over the last couple of weeks, her and I have just been in a lot of time kind of just being grateful for where we're at, and
that sounds cute.
But I think that in life, though, we all kind of forget to do that.
I'm going to go do that.
I think you should.
No, but for different reasons. I mean, I'm going to go do that because we're moving out of the house where we spent
That's
our
a huge time to do it, by the way.
Yeah, it's a perfect time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we've been there for 24 years. I've never lived not even in a certain state for that long. Right. I've never lived in any city or state longer than 3 years at a time at a bid, or 5 years was Texas at the longest. El Paso, right. The last time I lived there. But I mean, never. So to actually live in a house for 24, raise our kids in that house. So we had children in that house, raised kids in that house. Solidified so many things in that house, grew businesses. I mean, oh my God, I can't believe we're actually.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But the legacy of that house will continue
do
because your daughter's taking over it. So, like, it'll continue. The new memories will be made.
I think that's why I'm not so sad about it. But it did feel very different when I walked out of it the night I knew I was not going to spend the night there. I kind of just touched the wall and be like, wow.
Yeah, it's been good to you, man.
Yeah.
But I don't think we do enough of that, right? And as I was on my way here this morning, I was on the phone with my mother, and she brought up something which is helped. Because I told her I was trying to think of maybe a show topic, and I thought that would be it.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, well, and she wanted me to point out, so Mother, if you're listening, which I think you are, I'm now pointing this out.
Hi, Mother.
The thing that she noticed, which I think was she hit it right on the head, and that is, she was at home, I think it was last night, she was watching a TV show, and in between the TV shows, a commercial came on, and this commercial was imploring people to be kind to one another and kind of, just treat each other well, things of that nature.
Yeah.
And she was like, why the hell do they only do that once a year? Like, why is it only during Christmas and Thanksgiving that they bring that out and they don't bring it out for the rest of the time? And obviously the easy answer to that is marketing and things of that nature. Same reason why we're doing a gratitude show right now.
Yeah.
However, she's got a good point, right? Like, I'm going to stick with gratitude for the moment, and that is we should be grateful every day, right? Like, we should take an inventory of because every day you're living somebody's dream, right? I mean, you're alive.
Right. Well, people that lived by a doctrine or in recovery do that. That's part of the daily routine. To. Well, I mean, if you're working at it, I should say, yeah.
But I agree, like, in the sense of, like, dude, because it is. I first of all, let me preface this all by saying, Buddhism or not, spirituality or not, I get it. It's easy to sit around and be like, none of this is working the way. It's easy to pinpoint everything in your life that just is not going the way you want it to go.
Right.
Complain about it, moan about it. Obsess over it. You can get other people to chime in, and they'll start telling you all the things that's going wrong with it, and you can have this big pity party with everybody around. It's very easy. It's very intoxicating to do that, to get caught up in that and start trying to one up with each other how bad your day is. It's like a weird therapeutic almost. Like, yeah, I'm having a bad day too.
But that's what I'm saying. Our world is so pagan now. I mean, we've gone very pagan.
How so?
Well, I just think it's so uncool. We were talking earlier before we went live. We were talking a lot about how much the millennials have killed certain businesses.
Yeah.
Not on purpose. It's just
their
by
habits.
by their purchasing habits.
Yeah.
I think being non-religious or non-affiliated is probably something that's probably on that list.
I can see that.
And so we're so that way that it only looks like Christmas and everything is about buying something.
Right.
Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that. So it seems once a year. But like I said, for people in recovery that their life depends on being grateful on a daily basis, or for people that do practice Buddhism on a daily basis, or any other faith or thought process or religion on a daily basis, they're doing it quite often.
Yeah, I don't think that nobody is doing it.
Right.
But I do. She brings up a good point, though. Is it's not commercialized. It's not
commercialized. Correct.
It's not brought to the forefront. Like it's unspoken until this period of time.
Right.
And I get the concept. It's a new year. You kind of assess your previous year. Like I get all that. But
plus, it's a trip. A lot of people live far away from their families.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they pick now to travel.
Sure. But if we're thinking about happiness and things of that nature, man, like there is a passage in the Buddhist philosophy even that if you don't know anything else, just start with gratitude. Like if you don't know the 4 truths and the Eightfold Path, which we just did a couple weeks ago, look it up, Back to Basics 1, 2, and 3. If you don't know any of those things, start with gratitude.
Yeah.
That is the path.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how important it is. Like gratitude really truly is.
Right.
It's like the I don't know, man, it's like the unspoken like big pink elephant in the room. Like it truly is kind of at the base of a lot of things, and that is just being grateful for what you have and those around you, grateful for the things that go right, grateful for the things that don't go right, that teach you. You know, like there's no such thing as taking a loss, man, if you learn something.
Well,
like,
I think you said it best earlier when you said that it's corny, right? The corny stuff works.
Yeah.
You know, in most things, the corny stuff actually is what works. The cool stuff will get you in trouble. Things that are cool you go to jail for cool stuff.
Yeah.
You know, everything that's really cool, anything that you say, here, hold my beer, can get you hurt or get you in trouble.
It's cool,
but the corny stuff that says, here, let's hold hands, or let's all focus for a second. That stuff is just, you know, it's usually not as fun.
Well, you know what though?
But it's real.
You also bring up an interesting perspective now that I think about it, and that is like even from a male's perspective, I can't obviously comment from a female's perspective, but I know as a guy, when I was younger, more so than now, when I was younger, it was really kind of unacceptable to like tell your guy friends like how much you appreciate them.
Right.
It was kind of like, dude, what you know, what are you gay or something? Like, that's just, it was a very faux pas thing to do. I still did it with certain friends. Like I would still make a point, letting them know, like, dude, like, you know, thank you for being in my life. I find myself doing it more now as I'm older and finding it totally acceptable. And they do the same. But yeah, I agree. It was like it felt like a weird, corny thing to do. Like, dude, why are you thanking me for, you know, being a friend? Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
It was like a shameful thing. Like, loser.
Well, that's where the bro hug came from, right?
Yeah.
The bro hug derived from, you know, what's a cool way to hug?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so yeah, I mean, I agree, and I think we gotta shed that, especially in today's world, right, where we're all about inclusivity, supposedly, anyways, and we're all about acceptance.
Liars.
Yeah,
liars.
We'll get on that another day.
Don't get negative on Dharma Time.
Yeah, but why are we still not making it acceptable to just be grateful for those around you, male or female?
Yeah.
And so for me,
I'm grateful for you, Trinity.
I'm grateful for you too as well, man.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think that gratitude is extremely important. I know that for me, that's kind of like, I don't know, that's what helped me in my spiritual journey, man, was looking at things, instead of looking at things as good or bad, I looked at them as just, they either fit within my expectations or not.
Right.
You know, if they didn't fit with my expectations, I obviously tend to lean towards negative, but it doesn't mean it's a negative. It's just, it didn't fit with my expectations. And so for me, the gratitude part, like even going back to my original story with my wife, right? Like, it's easy because I see so many people nowadays. Like, it seems like divorce is in the water for a lot of people. It's crazy. Like a lot of
too
people,
easy.
Yeah, I guess. But a lot of those come back down to just a lack of appreciation for one another, lack of communication. Obviously, there's many situations where like horrible things happen, and I'm not referring to those.
Right.
But what I'm talking about is just, like, I even know in my own life, it's easy for me to take my wife for granted. It's easy for her to take me for granted. Like, how much we mean to one another. It's easy just to be like, yeah, she'll be there. But no, like, she wakes up every day and chooses to be there, and I'm grateful for that.
Well, by the way, before I get any hate mail or messages about it being easy, I'm not saying the divorce process is easy. I'm saying the decision to divorce.
It's easy to quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's almost glorified.
Just because somebody going through divorce right now says easy hell.
Yeah, right. Well, it's almost glorified too, right? Like it's instead of staying and working out, you're almost told by people around you, "Oh, I'd leave. There's more fish in the sea."
Well, yeah, there's no meaning attached to commitment anymore. Nobody talks about staying in a certain job for a lifetime. Nobody talks about staying in a certain relationship for a lifetime. Those concepts are dead.
Yeah, or dying.
They're just gone.
Right.
I don't think young people think like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they know if I don't like something, I can just leave.
Right.
I can just stop doing it.
Yeah.
You know? Even school, I can go home and say I want to be homeschooled.
Right.
And there's a lot of kids that have made that decision to no longer go to a school.
Well, it's actually funny. It's funny you should say that because
are yours asking to be homeschooled?
No. My mother and I were talking about that type of a thing yesterday.
Your kids will actually do very good homeschool because you're a very intelligent guy.
I don't have patience to homeschool
really?
my kids.
Yeah.
I'm not a teacher for a reason. But no, we were talking about that as far as I think that kind of oddly enough it ties in together with gratitude in the sense of in today's society it's hard because like we want our kids to have appreciation for things, but like I remember when I was a kid, this is what brought it up actually. When I was a kid, because we were talking about cutting the cord, right? Because I'm getting rid of cable, and I remember like when I was a kid, the idea of cable, it was basically this is what's on TV. Yeah. Like, you know, if you don't like it, then find something else to do.
Right.
But in today's day and age, if you don't like it, you can watch like on demand. Like, what is that concept? Yeah. So I was thinking about my children, right? Yeah. My children don't understand the concept of learning how, like, if you don't want this on TV, go play with your cars or go outside and play. No, like, my kids were like, I want to watch SpongeBob. Well, at any given moment, at any given time, they can watch SpongeBob on demand.
Right.
You know, there is no idea of just waiting. So
they don't. You never have to wait till Tuesday at 3 p.m.
Yeah, they just don't have to.
Right.
So it's hard for them to appreciate. Right. You know, when it comes on, it doesn't mean anything to them because they always have access.
It's happening to me too.
Well, sure.
I record everything. I've never, in the last, God, I don't know how long it's been. Yeah. Probably since Oz on HBO that I waited for a specific time to watch a specific show. Since then, I'm recording everything.
Yeah.
Well, even sports, man, I record, so I don't have to watch commercials.
So I think for me, that kind of ties in, right? Like, how do you appreciate something when you don't really have to work to get it, or even it's just there all the time?
I'm grateful for my patience because apparently we're not teaching our kids to be patient because they give us an entire season of shows in one clip.
Yeah, they don't have to be
right?
patient.
Isn't that the way they release it on Netflix? They give you the whole season.
Yeah, they don't have to be patient.
They don't have to be patient.
And they don't have to
You're absolutely right.
Well, they don't have to appreciate it either. Like, why do you appreciate something when you can literally just use it whenever you want? Like, who cares? It's just a show. To whereas me, when I was a kid, that was a big deal, dude. Like, hey, this is coming on Monday at 8. I got to be there.
Maybe I should rethink this capitalism thing.
Oh, God.
Maybe capitalism is killing America.
I think people are, but regardless.
So don't go too far, Louis.
Yeah. So for me, I think that it is easy in today's world to get so caught up in everything being on demand and right in front of you and your spouse coming and going and, you know, just always being there and your job. And like, it's easy to take those things for granted. But what that does, though, is I think it does create this sense of almost like a void because you're not really appreciating it anymore. It's just stuff that's there. So where do you get your fulfillment? And so I think that's where spirituality does come into play and philanthropy and all these other things. But underneath all that is gratitude. Be thankful that you do have the option to watch it whenever you want. Be thankful that you have the ability to pay for that and have it come in your home. Because there are people out there tonight who are going to die. There's going to be people out there who are living on the streets.
You just hit me with a sledgehammer. I'm here with you on a nice little wave.
Sure.
I was with you. You know, it's like you're talking to me while I'm floating, and all of a sudden you say someone's going to die. It's like all of a sudden the shark bit me.
But it's true. That's the point.
That's a fact.
Is it can go away at any moment.
Any moment.
There's somebody today who's going to be told, hey, you have cancer. You got 6 months to live. Yeah. There's going to be somebody who gets told today, hey, you're going to get evicted. You need to get out of the house.
Yeah.
There's going to be somebody today that says, hey, your mom's not coming home anymore.
Yeah.
There's going to be somebody today that's like, oh, by the way, I want a divorce.
Yeah.
Like, those things happen to people every single day.
Yeah,
and if it didn't happen to you today, that's a good thing.
There's so much
to
be
grateful for that. Yeah. Because no matter how bad you think it is, it could get worse. If you're alive, trust me, it could get worse.
Yeah, I think I'm going to text Dana thank you right now while we're talking. And just let her think, and like, what is he texting me for? Look, I'm just
she's not going to watch the show, so you're good. She'll never know.
No, but I'm just going to text her. I'm just going to text her thank you.
and if you guys can't see the video, he's legitimately texting his wife at the moment.
There it is. I just texted her. Now, she's not going to know why I did that. I just did it. I'll explain it later, but she's going to be like, no, you know what here's what's going to happen. At first, she's going to be like, why is he doing it? And then she's going to think, did he text someone wrong? Or she goes, is he being sarcastic? Like, she'll flip it around to like I'm doing something sarcastic. Are you doing it too?
I am doing it right now. You're not going to one-up me, bro.
I saw you texting. All right, just thank you, though. Just leave it like thank you.
I was going to put more than that, but
just thank you. Just the words thank you.
I like that.
No, we should text everyone. Look, let's test our kids, too. I want to see their reactions.
Yeah, for what?
Yeah, I'm gonna just look Zoe. Let me text Zoe. Thank you. I'm just gonna do gratitude to everybody real quick. And I'm gonna do it to Dahlia.
That's what my wife just said. My wife just responded with for what?
No, don't even answer. No response.
Yeah, I'm on the show right now.
Yeah.
But
I'm not gonna respond. I'm not gonna give anyone a reason of why I just said thank you, but just thank you.
Figure it out.
Yeah,
whatever you want it to be.
And let it just swirl in there because I want to hear what the reaction was later.
Sure. Oh, and my wife already responded for what?
Yeah, at least yours responded.
Yeah, which I'm surprised, by the way. It's like she has a sixth sense and knows that we're on air. Because otherwise it'd be like 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
I'm working. What do you want?
Right. I guarantee, as sarcastic as I am, I guarantee all three are going to think it's a sarcastic thing.
Yeah, that's probably what my wife is thinking too. Actually,
they're going to think. They're not going to think that I'm saying thank you. They're going to think I'm saying thank you.
Yeah, right.
That's how they hear it.
Thank you.
They're going to read it. Thank you.
You left this out.
Look, there's Zoe with a question mark. So Zoe's the first one to respond. She just did a question
Same
mark.
thing, right? For what, basically?
Yeah,
mine did too.
And I'm not going to answer you, Zoe.
But
I'm on the air.
But no, so I mean that's the whole point of gratitude, right? We get so caught up in like having everything the way we want it, we forget that life is pretty good for most of us, man. Like, yeah, you might have some things in your life that aren't hitting what you expected or what you wanted.
Right.
But for the most part, I think a lot of us, I'm trying to use my words carefully because there's going to be somebody out there who's like living on the streets or whatever. I get all that. But for the majority of us, I think if you really stop worrying about, take your emotions out of it.
Right.
Stop worrying about what your expectations and what your goals and everything else. Just step back for a second. You might know that you got a lot to be thankful for.
Right.
A lot of us have good people around us. We have friends, we have family, we have a roof over our heads, we have food in our stomachs. We have the ability to want more for ourselves. We have the ability to go out and get that more for a lot of us. And I just think that it gets so lost on us. We get so caught up in what we don't have. We get so caught up in what isn't working for us that we forget that there was a quote that's going around the internet at the moment, and I don't know if it's legitimate as far as it says anonymous 6-year-old or 8-year-old or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's legitimate that came from them, but the quote itself, it still has power, and the quote is basically, I'm okay, I have more happy than I have sad.
I like that.
That's a great quote. And I don't think, and it would not shock me if it came from a 6-year-old because they are the most like resilient and they get it. At 6, 8, 9, they get it. Because my kids will be so upset 1 second, and within 2 seconds, they're totally into whatever they're doing, and they're awesome about it, and they're grateful. And so, but that's a great quote, though, is I have more happy than I have sad.
Right.
And so when I look back on my own life, I mean, dude, I can sit here right now, and I can easily give you a top 10 list in seconds about everything that I don't like right now. Things are not working for me. Things are not going the way I want. It would be so easy to rattle that off. But then to give you the opposite of that and try to give you top 10 things of what I'm grateful for right now, I would have to pause for a moment, if I'm honest.
Right.
I would have to literally like pause. I could come up with them for sure, but I'd have to pause.
The problem is that the negative demands so much energy.
Yeah.
It takes your energy, so it demands attention. Like, when something bad is happening, whether it's, losing somebody or something happened to somebody you care about, or if you can't pay a bill right now, if you lost your job, that demands so much attention.
Yeah.
And it sucks your energy out that it's not even comparable to I just paid a bill.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you just paid a bill.
I woke up today.
Put it this way. I have all my bills on auto pay. So I don't even get the enjoyment of, woohoo! Who would do that?
Yeah.
Like, who does that? You pay a bill and go, woo! Like I want, like that commercial that where the people are out of debt. As of 3 p.m. today, I'm out of debt. I'm thinking, What?
Good for you.
Yeah. What the hell are you doing?
I got a house, bro, so I'm not going to be out of debt until I'm like 90.
I'm not even trying to be out of debt.
Yeah.
I'm
just got more debt.
It's not even a goal. I'm grateful that's not even a goal, because then I would feel like a failure every day that I'm in debt.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I mean, it's just some things suck energy and some things give energy. Yeah. And I think what you're saying is give yourself a little energy.
Yeah.
And just review some of the things that maybe you just walk over and take for granted. Maybe you took for granted that you're actually not starving right now.
Yeah.
Maybe, and when we're saying starve, we're not saying, "Oh my God, I can't wait till lunchtime. I'm starving." No. like Zoe or Dahlia would say starving, right?
Like my kids do all the time. I'm starving.
Yeah, Zoe's idea of starving is not starving.
Yeah, I haven't eaten in an hour.
Right. Or there's not Doritos or Funyuns in the house. I mean, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, oh my God, we have like nothing to eat in this house. All that really means is like there's no Funyuns.
Yeah.
There's everything we have requires cooking.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Like, we always joke around. There's always somebody who has it worse, except for that one person who's like, there's got to be that one person.
Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody watching or listening that says, dude, I'm that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you wouldn't be hearing or listening, because that means you have a battery, or you have a Wi-Fi, or you have a computer.
You live in a country, or
you have a cell phone.
You live in a first world problem here.
Right. Put it this way. The one person that does have it worse than anybody actually doesn't even know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how bad they have it.
Yeah.
They have it so bad that they don't even freaking know that they have it bad.
They're just like, this is life. What do you mean? What, you have utensils? What are those? Yeah.
Dharma, what?
Yeah. Well, that's the kind of the thing, right? I mean, for me, we do get so caught up in moving on to the next.
Yeah.
You get so caught up in achieving the next goal or obtaining the next whatever that we kind of do forget like our journey and how far we've come and what we've obtained and how good some of us really have had it.
Right.
And I know for me that there's times where I'll watch shows or I'll see somebody or something will happen and I'm like, damn, like I couldn't imagine that. Like a couple weeks ago.
All the time, man.
Well, a couple weeks ago, we had Patrick Dunn on the show.
Yeah.
And he was talking about laws.
He's in town, by the way.
Right on. But when I saw him posting,
and
I realized like it was a little over a year ago, I guess, or right around a year ago, he lost his dad, which he was very close to.
Yep.
And then a few months ago, he lost his wife. And from what my understanding is, when he lost his wife, it was like she's totally fine, everything's great. Something's not going right. We take her in, and she died. Like it was like an instant, like whoa, what just happened?
It was.
Or I see people who are posting or we've talked to that have lost children. Like we're in the addiction world, so everybody that we see that passes or succumbs to this disease and dies, they got a parent that they left behind. And so for me, when I see situations like that, like if I'm honest, dude, I don't know how I would take it or how I would overcome going home today and finding out that one of my kids passed or my wife passed.
Right.
But
that'd be devastating.
But thankfully, I haven't had to deal with all that.
Yeah.
But there's people out there that do. And so like that's what I'm saying is like, when was the last time like you know what? There was a little thing that my wife and I used to do that I'm gonna restart.
Whoa, that's a different show, bro.
We'll see what happens. She did this none, but no, there was a little
yeah, she told me the other day, right? Yeah. That's awesome.
But no, there was a little, I don't know what you would call it, like a gimmick thing we would do with one another, and it was stupid at the time. It was like a joke that we did, but I think I'm gonna start it back up, and we would say to each other, "Hey, don't die today." Or at the end of the day, we would joke.
I like it.
Well, yeah, and we would say to each other, like, "Hey, thanks for not dying today." And it sounds like a funny thing, but you know what? Like, yeah, I think I want to start that back up.
It's funny you say that because when I'm leaving or if the kids are leaving and I don't hear goodbye, I said, "Hey, aren't you gonna kiss me? I could die today, right?"
Yeah.
I make my kids give me a kiss before they leave, and my wife give me a kiss. Well, Dana does it easily, but the kids, have to be reminded sometimes. Right. But they say I love you every time I leave because as a kid growing up, I always said, "Hey, I could die today." My wife would always say, "That's so dramatic."
But it's true.
I said, "No, it's a fact."
Yeah.
I said, and I don't want the last minute. I may say it jokingly, but the real reality is that if I go out there, because I'm always driving, and I'm always getting hit by friggin' pebbles and shovels and buckets and paint and Bob's barricade. Who put that there? So it's like something bad can happen to me.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want you to have that in your head that you didn't say I love you to your dad before he died.
Yeah. But that's the thing is,
I'm actually being helpful.
Is I think we take for granted every day that nothing's going to happen. Like
That's
we
right.
get so used to the sun coming up every day. We get so used to, I go to pay a bill, we got money there.
Right.
We get so used to, I'm hungry, I go to cabinet, there's something there to eat. Like, we don't realize that can all be taken away in a moment. Like there's people out there who get in a car accident and are disfigured or paralyzed from the neck down. Like there's things that happen every single day to somebody, and we get caught up in this mentality of that's never going to happen to me. Yeah, well, the world is full of people it happened to that didn't think it was going to happen to them that day.
Amen. And by the way, we should say, we appreciate Marissa. She's on.
Absolutely.
By the way, I can see. I can't read it from here, but I can see that she's on.
Yeah.
And we're grateful for you, Marissa.
Absolutely.
And she knows this all too well.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately,
a few of the things we've already spoken about has touched her life.
Right.
And that's the thing, that I think we do. It's so easy to get caught up in just the routine of like, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. And that's why I legitimately, when people ask me how are you doing, I usually say, hey, any day I wake up breathing is a good day.
Right.
And I truly, genuinely mean that. I woke up today, man. It's a good day.
And I stole from a friend of mine, Ruben Moreno, from back in high school days. ¿Qué pasó, Ruben? But I stole it from him where I would say, hey, how you doing? He goes, better than I deserve.
Yeah, I remember you used to say that.
And so I stole that from him.
Right on.
Until I realized, no, screw that. I do deserve it.
He works hard for
I said it for years until I realized, oh, hell no, I do deserve it.
Right.
I work my butt off, man. It's like, God loves me. He's, she is up there saying, you're right. You're good.
Yeah.
You get a pass today, Lou. You get a pass
but I just think that we there's no way or we should not underestimate the power of gratitude.
Right.
It really, truly is. When you stop to take a moment to really appreciate what you have and what's going on in your life and the abilities that you have, whatever skill set you have, the people you have in your life that care for you, those people that will text you, hey, what's wrong? I saw you, you weren't looking good today, whatever. Like those people you have in your life,
right.
If you have a friend or a relative that you get to see tonight, like we can't underestimate how impactful that is. Number one, to be grateful for it. But number two, to express that gratitude.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, yeah, we're joking and everything else when we're sending our wives these text messages, but they're both going to, like, it feels good to have somebody say, hey, thank you. Like, it does feel good to be appreciated.
I want to hear it.
Absolutely. I know I do.
Jeez.
So I think that gratitude is both good for the giver and the receiver.
Right.
It truly is. And in some instances, you're both the giver and the receiver if you're being thankful for just who you are and what you've accomplished in your own life.
That's right.
And I think that we need to do that every day.
I was going to say something so inappropriate.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. But
I'm grateful that you know what I'm thinking. I don't have to say it.
Well, dude. So.
And then we can just laugh.
Exactly.
Because I don't take anything too serious. But I do have a question for you.
Yeah,
I do have a question. All right. So in the Buddhist philosophy, what is it? Because in the I've noticed that within Buddhism, there's so many nice, practical, easy ways to like simplify a thought or a feeling or something.
Okay.
So that you can work it. Right?
Okay.
Or so
like
you can
an action
process
step,
through it.
you mean?
Yeah. So like in the Buddhist philosophy, what is something that you can do to practice gratitude or that allows you to kind of emphasize the grateful feelings that you do have inside you, but you just don't give them any attention?
That's actually a really good question. I'd have to think on that one. My immediate thought process when you
it'd be good to do that before the show.
It would be. But my immediate thought to that, my immediate response is just the compassion. Like true compassion is wanting good for other people, as much as you want for yourself. And that kind of is the whole practice. It's like a selflessness almost.
So what are some practical ways to practice compassion then for yourself and to give yourself that gift of gratitude? Because it is like a gift, right?
Well, I would say for me, the way I personally do it is
the way you interpret it.
I do tell people I'm grateful for them. I know you and I've had numerous conversations where, matter of fact, literally it was like 3 days ago. I was on the phone with my buddy Terrence, who's been my friend for over 20 years.
Right.
Him and I don't see each other as much as we used to because we got just different lifestyles at the moment.
Right.
But we make a point of trying to have a call every now and then just to touch base and see how we're doing.
That's awesome.
And during those calls, I'll say, "Hey, man, thank you. Thank you for being in my life. He's taught me a lot in my life as well."
Right.
And he says the same to me, and I'm grateful that I was able to give any sort of wisdom to him. But I will not leave anything unsaid. Like if I think it, I'm going to tell it to you. As far as gratitude's concerned, I might not always tell you the negative aspect.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I'll pick my battles and keep that to myself. But the gratitude, I will always say.
Right. Like you were probably thinking Friday because you were in a moody. You were so moody we didn't do the couch live. We did the sports show.
Well, wouldn't technically everybody always be moody?
He was real moody.
Everybody's in a mood at some point.
He was real moody.
Anyways, but no.
In other words, the absence of any emotion is what I'm calling moody. Like you weren't saying anything.
No, I was just there.
You were Mount Rushmore.
But no, that's the way I practice it. Is I do try to go out of my way the best I can to verbalize.
You do that
when I'm grateful for something. Only because I think it needs to be said. It needs to be heard. Like. Because it could be worse. Like, and I have had worse. Like, I've had moments in my life where I'm like, dude, what the hell is going on, man? Like, if this is living, I don't want to do this. Yeah. Like, I've had those moments. And so for me, I try to focus more on what I do have.
Do you thank you?
Do I thank me?
Yeah, because you're right. You do that. And that is a real simple way to do it. But do you thank you? Do you express gratitude to yourself for what you've done to yourself?
I don't know. I don't know. I think the way I would show that is by...
You need to look in the mirror in the morning and go, thank you.
Yeah, good job.
You did little guns. You did little guns.
Gavin.
Yeah.
No, I think the way I show my self-appreciation is by making right decisions on a daily basis. Like, I try to make decisions that are going to accentuate the work that I've done and continue to put me on a good path. And so, like, when situations come up where, as you and I are always joking, we got like the little midgets on our shoulders.
Yep.
I have those instincts in me still that will say, "Hey, do this."
Right.
But the way I show appreciation for the work that I've done in my life is I make the decision that's going to continue to put me on that path that I want to be on. As far as the spirituality is concerned, that would be the right intention, right? My intent is to be happy and be of service to those around me.
Yeah.
So I continue to try to make those decisions, even though at times it's hard, because there's plenty of times with that little, the little guy on my shoulders, I do this. I'm like, oh, I would love to do that. I could come up with all sorts of reasons why that would be amazing.
It always sounds so much fun.
But then I stop and I say, you know what? No. Like, that's not who I am. That's not who I want to be. That's not who I want my children to see or my wife to have. So
it's
I'm going to do
we've done
this.
it, though. It's also because
it is because I'm
the
sure
reality.
That helps.
The reality is, what
that
helps
helps
for me. I don't know about for you, but what helps for me is that I know I've done it.
Yeah, I'm sure that helps.
And so I have such a good imagination. I can put myself back there and I go, okay, did it, done.
Right.
So it doesn't work as much for maybe some younger person who's never experienced it, because then they just look at us and go like, well, at least you had the opportunity to do it.
Right.
All right, brother. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Hey.
Good luck. You better hope it works out for you like it did for me.
Just understand that you'll have to deal with those consequences, both good and bad.
Yup.
If you're gonna do the time, do the crime.
Good luck.
But yeah. So I think for me, that would be how I show my appreciation, I guess, to myself. Yeah. Like I feel proud for the growth that I've made. Like, I know who I used to be, and I know how easy it is for me to go back to that. But I think those are simple things.
I'm sorry to laugh while you said that. Dana texted me, was that meant for me?
See? My so what does that say about us, though? That all of our people are like, what? For what? They're not just immediately like, oh, thank you, you're welcome. Or what. No, they're skeptical.
Maybe I'm going to do that this Thanksgiving. Instead of giving the happy Thanksgiving, I'm just going to thank you, and then it's going to boom. I'm going to just blow
everybody's mind.
I'm just going to keep on just doing thank you to everybody.
That's funny.
How come so far nobody said you're welcome? I think Dahlia's going to be the one that says thank you to or you're welcome. Dahlia has my kind of sarcasm.
We'll see.
No, she has my genetics of sarcasm. She will say, my guess is that she's the one that's going to say you're welcome or thank you too.
Well, we'll see. We got another 20 minutes for her to respond.
Yeah, she hasn't responded yet.
But
who all did you send it to?
I just sent it to my wife.
Oh, you cheated.
My little ones don't have like phones. Like
Skylar doesn't have a phone?
She does, but she better not read it in class.
Do it. Test it. Just say thank you. Because if she is reading it in class, how can you not respond to a thank you?
Touche.
And then when she asks you later on in the day, why did you say that? Thank you for not answering your text while you're in class.
That's awesome. I gotta find it now.
Yeah, you gotta find her. And see, you've texted her so few times in life that you don't even know where it is.
My problem is for some reason mine doesn't show the names on my computer.
Oh, mine doesn't either.
And so it's,
no, but I'm lucky enough to have your phone is over there.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think I just found it.
I would say thank you to your mom, but your mom's watching, so it's like she'd know why you mean it.
Yeah. Well, I just texted her. I found the number in there. So, anyways, but I guess those are simple tools, right? Is to tell people like, hey, thank you, like, and not just tell them, but show them. That is I can't express how important that is. Like, you can't tell somebody thank you and then go around and like hurt them like right afterwards.
I gotta admit, I don't give a shit about words.
Yeah, I
really do. And Dana thinks that's kind of a harsh way to be. I don't want your apology as much as I want the action behind it. I don't want to hear how you feel about me as much as I want to feel it in a different way. I want to see it.
I kid you not. I have my kids sometimes will come to me and he'll say I'm sorry. I say like I appreciate that. I don't care about being sorry. Just don't do it anymore. That's how you show me. Like, stop doing what I just told you not to do. Yeah. And I agree with you. I think a lot of people think that sounds harsh, but the way I explain it to somebody, and if you're listening to this is what I mean. If somebody walks up to you and says, I love you, and then punches you in the mouth, which one are you going to focus more on? The fact that they told you they love you or the fact that they punched you in the mouth? Yeah. And hands down, everybody's going to say the fact that they hit me in the mouth. So actions do speak louder than words.
Well, all of us, look, man, how many of us were forced to apologize to somebody? Yeah. And while I'm saying I'm sorry, I'm thinking F you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because I've said I'm sorry even when I acted like I was mean, and I was just doing it just I don't want to argue
just
no
shut
more.
Them up.
Yeah, I'm shutting you up. Look, I'm sorry is a very serious thing to me. It's like saying I love you. Right. So if you're really sorry, and look, if I tell you I'm sorry, Trinity, I'm serious. Yeah. So what you're getting from me when I say I'm sorry is probably different than what I'm feeling when that person is saying I'm sorry. Because when I'm saying it, I'm gonna work on it. Yeah. And I'm going to work not to do it again. Now, if I look at you, I'm sorry, man. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, but it's kind of funny. Yeah. So that's why, I don't want it. I'm sorry. I want the action behind it. And I'm an action person. You know that. It's actions.
Well, and that's the thing with gratitude is it's one thing to tell them, and for certain individuals, that's the only ability I really have. Like if they're out of town or whatever, But for those in my inner circle, I do try my best to show them. And the way I show them is... Like for my kids, like I'm there. I try to make like my kids. What was it last week? They both had honor rolls, and so I made a point of being there. Like that's how I show them I appreciate who they are and the progress that they're making, and I'm proud of them. And I'll never forget, man. Like my son didn't realize I was going to be there, and I remember when they called his name, and every kid in that thing was all looking around in the audience trying to find their parents. Right. And my son kind of looked once or twice, didn't see me, and I think he kind of just realized, he's just not going to be there. Then when he got up, he got his word. He looked up, he made eye contact, and he realized his whole face lit up. That's cool. I was like, "That's my boy."
He smiled from within.
Yes, and so for me, like that's how I show for them. That's right. For my wife, I show her by remaining a loyal husband and doing things I know that are important to her. Right. They might not be important to me. I could probably care less about certain things, but I know they're important to her. Like yesterday. Right. Yesterday, she was having a difficult day with certain things, right? And she texted me and made a comment about how she was running late for work this morning, and she would have loved to have gotten this drink that she gets at Wawa. So I was out and about doing things. I stopped by Wawa and brought it to her job for her. Right on. Like little things like that to let her know, like, yeah, I appreciate you. Like I got you.
Another way that you just reminded me of how I show I'm grateful for my wife and that I love you is that I behave like a husband even when you're not around. Oh, people know I'm married to you even when you're not there. And so it's the silent stuff like that. I know Dana does that. Yeah. I know Dana behaves like the wife I want her to be even when I'm not around. Yeah. She's not out there, flirting and doing stuff that's going to disrespect who we are. Yep. You know Optics, what I mean? Man. And so those things like that is what I'm talking about action.
Well, you know what? And my wife actually said that almost exactly that to me a few days ago.
She's brilliant.
We were we were talking about something, and I think it was I don't remember the scenario basically, but I told her what my response would be. This is how I handle it, and she said she liked that about me because she said she never worries about me being unfaithful to her or anything else, but she loves the fact though that I don't take that for granted. Like I don't push those boundaries. Like I still behave a certain way, even though I know that she wouldn't worry about those. Right. I still care for that thought process enough to not damage it. Right. Like I wouldn't just take a random I don't know, like a random dinner with somebody or something knowing that my wife wouldn't care. No, I whether she care or not, it's not the right thing to do. I'm not going to do it. And so, like you said, I behave as a husband even when I'm not around her.
Right.
And so that is another way we show appreciation. So like there is ways to be grateful and show your gratitude to those around you in ways that they feel it.
Right.
And when you do that, I'm telling you, and I'm gonna look right in the camera, you will start to feel happier.
Right.
It's just it's inevitable. When you focus on positive things, when you focus on the things that are going right for you, when you focus on all the things that are taking place in your life that are good for you and happy and working, you can't help but to just be happy with that.
Right.
It's so hard to be grateful and upset at the same time. Only one thought, only one emotion is going to be able to fill you at once. So if that emotion and thought and feeling is gratitude, then this anger, despair, and frustration just can't fill that same space. It's impossible.
You know, a good example of what we're talking about is, you and I both watch Alone, the show Alone.
Yeah, great show.
Yeah, one important lesson that I've gotten from Alone is that I am not one to say grace. I'm just not. I was raised Catholic, but I don't practice it.
Right.
So we have never said grace. But if I'm with you and you say grace is part of your deal,
right,
I'll gladly do it.
I do not.
I'm not offended by it, and I'll do it with you. Watching Alone has made me want to do things like that more, and I'll tell you why. Because every time they killed an animal, right? Yeah. All across the board, every single one of them did it.
Yeah.
Right? Every single one. Not one person. Yeah. Not one person on that show, as different as all of them were, not one of them did not, when they killed an animal, they said, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving your life to
me.
And
some of them broke down in tears and stuff.
Yeah. I want that.
Right.
When I see that
that's
in
serious gratitude right there.
I want that. And I want to not only say thank you to whatever gave me this food,
right,
but I want to do that with other things, because when they do it, that's not fake. That was totally real.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, you know it because you watch the show. It was something that across the board they all did, and we know from watching that show that all of them respect nature.
Yeah.
And so they don't just say I respect nature.
Well,
they live it.
Yeah,
they live it by when they kill something in nature, they thank it.
Yeah.
And so as much as we say I respect you, or I respect nature too, no, not like that.
Yeah.
Because then, even not being religious, you'd be blessing that food. Yeah. You'd be thanking that food that you're about to eat. And I don't do that. I really don't do that. And so it makes me think, and it just reminded me right now that we're doing this show, and I need reminders like this.
Yeah.
Even if it's just once a year, to say, you know what, that's what I should be doing that every year. I should be saying, you know what, thank you for whatever process this animal went through. This chicken, it
gave its life so you can eat.
Except the Impossible Burger, because it's not real meat.
Well,
I don't have to thank that meat. I don't have to do grace when I do the Impossible Burger. Plants did die. And I say we should treat plants better than we treat the goat.
That's right. Well, the plants give us oxygen, so
that's what I'm saying. They actually do good for us.
Exactly.
You're feeling sorry for a cow that it's actually putting methane in the air, but that plant was giving you oxygen, and you go die.
Well, not only that, but
let's save the cow. Kill the plant that's giving you oxygen.
Well, not only that, but
how backwards is that?
But the plant also feeds the animal that we eat half the time too. So
poor plant, man. I'm gonna say save the plant. I'm gonna save the plant, and everybody's gonna think it's a pot shirt.
Plants matter.
They're gonna think it's plants do matter.
They do.
Plant lives matter. Damn it!
Oh God, we're gonna get so much hate mail.
Save
for that
the
one.
cow.
Well,
the plant's been abused a lot more than black people or Spanish people or gay people or anybody else that's marching. And by the way, I'm a Latino, so don't try to I got the brown card. I can say
I'm not touching that one.
Yeah, you can't say it because you're white.
I am
but
not
I can
touching
say it.
that one.
But what I'm saying is plants get abused and hurt and harshed, and always that's like the option to not kill.
Who's the advocate for the plant?
Us.
We're going to be the proxy for it. But anyways,
I'm grateful for you, plant.
That's right. But yeah, I just think that we can never underestimate the power of gratitude,
right,
and what it brings to our lives.
Yeah.
And I think there's one person that I can think of many, but there's one person that popped in my mind that we both know, that I think.
Thank you, Kathy. That one.
Kathy. Oh, my mom. Yeah. But no, there's somebody that we both know that popped in my head.
Okay.
That I think you'll appreciate this as well.
All right.
And this person that I've known for years, you've known longer, but every time I see this person, they're full of gratitude. They're just such a good human being.
Carol?
No, Stephanie Bowman.
Thank you, Stephanie Bowman.
For real. I knew a lot about Stephanie, but I didn't know as much as I do now when she got up and shared her story.
Yeah.
But to see and hear what she's gone through in her life, what hell is that? That was weird.
Did you hear that?
That sounded like something was chewing.
Chewing on the microphone.
What the hell
I had to
was
look at
that?
you. I had to look at you and be like, "Are you chewing on your microphone?"
That was weird. It was something was like eating.
Somebody was chewing.
That was crazy. Anyways, all right. So
there's a ghost on one of these microphones.
That was weird.
Wow. I don't know if you heard it or I don't know.
We'll have to pick that up later on the audio. See if it comes through.
I gotta see.
Anyways, no, but Stephanie Bowman. You know, I have seen her over the years, and she gives so much of herself for everybody around her. And in the midst of dealing with all that, she's going through like cancer battles. She's had her own like bouts of I'm not gonna tell her whole story, but just things that she's been through or whatever. Like, but yet every time I see her, she doesn't complain about anything, dude. Like, and that to me, I know several people like that.
And her hugs are the best.
Yeah, man.
They're so meaningful.
But they're so genuine. Like, she's hugging you like she wants you to feel hugged. That's an embrace. That's not even a hug, man.
Right.
And so, but every time she speaks, it's about gratitude. It's about helping. It's about how great life is for her at the moment. And she spends her whole life dedicated to helping other people. Like, you know,
for real.
And so for me, like, I respect people like that.
Yeah.
Especially when I hear what she's been through. She has every reason to be miserable and pissed off right now. Every reason. And nobody would blame her, dude. But instead, she's full of gratitude. She's just thankful for every day. She's thankful for the ability to help people. She's thankful for the people who helped her. She's thankful for her ability to overcome the thing that she's overcome. Right. And so I think we all need a little bit of Stephanie Bowman in us. Like, we all need a little bit of that. Just be happy, man. Choose gratitude.
Amen.
Instead of choosing negativity, choose gratitude. You have that choice. That's the cool part about it. And you, if you didn't do it today, you can start now. Like, there's nothing that says you can't do it right now. Like, that's something you can make the conscious decision to do right now and for the rest of the day. Choose it to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, and don't abstain from being grateful just because you don't like the marketing or Black Friday or the fact that it's become what it's become. Because if it doesn't become that within your household or within you, then it hasn't become that.
Well, you're not in control of other things. You're in control of your response.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can re-identify this time period however you choose to.
Exactly.
But I guess what I'm saying is don't just. That's not when you take a stand. You know, you know, like, I'm just not going to do it because they want me to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, how about
who are you really hurting in that situation?
Yeah. Okay. They heard you. Oh.
Yeah. They're going to stop.
Yeah. You know, Bezos is real crying right now because you didn't shop on Black Friday.
Yeah.
You know, nobody really cares. So but you care, and so since you care, you do what you do best, and that's take care of you, because you're the one that should care the most about you. Don't worry about everybody else caring about you.
Yeah.
You know, like you saw when I asked Trinity. You know, how does he express gratitude to himself? That's the hardest thing. We have to be grateful for ourselves. I am grateful for me.
Yeah.
I am my number one hero, because without me, and it's not selfish, it's not self-centered, it's because if I don't do the work, it doesn't matter what I think or say. I can't help other people if I'm not doing well. If I don't have the energy, if I don't have the heart, if I don't have the drive, if I don't have the passion, if I don't have the things that it takes to give to somebody else, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So I think you should be grateful to yourself.
I agree.
You know, it only becomes negative when it's in spite of others.
Yeah.
You know, when you do it in spite of others while hurting others. I'm not hurting anyone to say I'm grateful for me.
Right on. And before I get to my 3 tips, Marissa says we have to sage the room, and Michael Maynard said sorry he was having lunch while listening. That's why we heard the thing. I kid you not, everybody who's listening, though. That was the weirdest thing ever.
That was so weird, dude.
It was straight up. I thought it was you. Like, it was like
that's why I looked at you.
And eating. I'm like, what does that sound?
I had to look at you up thinking, is his beard sound like is there a mouse in his beard chewing?
That was weird. I'm anxious. When we get off here, I want to hang around long enough. I want to hear if audio caught that.
That was a serious chew.
Anyways, I digress. We got a couple minutes now. I'm going to do my...
and it was like this.
No, it was chewing.
It was serious.
It was straight up chewing. Anyways, so let me do my 3 tips here, and we will get out. Yeah. So anyways, so thank you for listening, everybody. If you watch this on YouTube or something, by all means, give it a like. We actually benefit from that, believe it or not. And if you're watching this elsewhere, share it. Do what you got to do. We do benefit, and I think others might as well. But so to wrap up today, once again, I try to give some action plans, some sort of thing to do to illustrate what we talked about today. And so that usually, for those of you just now watching, that boils down to the 3 tips at the end. And so today's first tip is gratitude is not ignoring the supposed issues that we have. That's not gratitude. Gratitude is understanding that we have things in our life that are issues that we want to fix or to improve upon. But gratitude is saying, while I see that, I have all these other things that are working for me. And just pointing those out and focusing some of your attention on those things as well. Number 2 is it helps it helps your overall sense of happiness. When you focus on the positive things, when you focus on the things that are working, and you give those some of your time and some of your energy, then your lens that you see the world through kind of just brightens up a little bit. And it's not something you have to try to do; it just happens. It happens by proxy. Like whether you intend to or not, it's just a natural thing that happens when you kind of approach things from that lens. So, coming from the positive perspective and being grateful does help your overall sense of happiness. And then the third tip is it should be done every day. It shouldn't be done just on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a great day to do it, and I'm not going to harp on you if you do it on Thanksgiving. By all means, it's awesome. But 3 months from now on a random Wednesday, it's good to do it then too. Be thankful every day, and you'll notice the more you do it, the easier it is to continue, and you'll start to realize, wow, I kind of just like this way better. And then it just be a part of who you are at that point. So, anyways, that's all I got. Thank you guys for listening once again. Until next time, now that you know better, do better. Peace. Are you still here? What are you doing? I told you, go do better.